I don't either. So, but I mean, some listeners may, and so they might be saying what baseball plays can be made. And so before we get your take on what baseball plays can be made, and I'll ask you some specific questions, I want to start with a super specific one because as I'm doing my research, I research a lot of different areas, and I noticed I have my process, and part of my process is to look at who's performing the best in all of the different professional sports leagues. And I noticed Aaron Judge was a name that stuck out to me as a guy who happens to be pretty much on fire right now. And so I started going through his cards, and, a lot of his more expensive cards come from his 2017 rookie season, but Bowman is the set now. And I noticed, I remembered you mentioned a couple episodes ago that Bowman before like 2017 wasn't necessarily the set. And I think we're seeing an example of this with Aaron Judge because his 2013 Bowman draft PSA 10 is up 25% over the last 30 days, according to Market Movers, but it's still only a $175 card. Can you tell me two things? Number one, why are his Topps 2017 cards in some cases far more expensive than his 2013 Bowman Chrome? Mm-hmm. And number two, do you think a card like this or this specific card provides an opportunity for someone to go buy it and then the market coming around and saying, wait a minute, like this is all Bowman now with prospects. What about these guys that are like MVP candidate veterans? Should we not be going back and buying their Bowman Chrome draft pick card? Am I missing something with this? What's your take on this?
No, I think this kind of falls into that same line of what I'm talking about. How there's like this small, well, it's not small, it's kind of a big caveat in baseball collecting where you've got these two marketplaces essentially. Well, you've got the things that you've got these prospectors, and then you've got the people that are just marginal fans that are watching whatever they're presented with on TV. And typically the TV people are going to be investing in Topps and Topps autos, and then the prospectors are going to be diving into Bowman. But like you said, that 2015 to 2017 era is when Bowman First autos started getting insane amount of attention and revenue that pouring in. Before that, you see guys like Byron Buxton, you see guys like Aaron Judge, you see guys like Carlos Correa. Their cards are in those earlier Bowman sets, and they're just simply not going for as much money as they could be. And so in your question of like, is this a potential buy in terms of a long-term hold for the market to correct itself? I would want to say yes. I would want to say and if I back up a little bit, I would want to say that the Bowmans in that era potentially will get caught up with. I don't think they'll be the same level because they're not as visually appealing as some of the newer Bowman products. And I think that has a lot to do with it. But I also will say that Bowman aside, Aaron Judge is an MVP this year. I'm just going to go ahead and say he's going to probably be in the top 3 to 5 at the end, if not the winner. And that's going to be really hard considering Trout is coming off of an injury season and doing what he's doing. But you have a potential contract situation looming with Aaron Judge. He's going to eventually hit free agency this offseason because the Yankees can't figure out what they're doing with his contract. He's on the best team in baseball right now, which is the Yankees. They're killing everything. He's in a best place for his cards to make an insane run right now. And so if I'm looking at it as an investor and I'm thinking, okay, I have $200 to $400 right now, I'm going to still buy his PSA 10 Bowman Chrome. I'm still going to do that because it's going to have a nice run next 5 to 6 months. What's the pop report? Are you looking that up right now? So it's 11,000 or 1,105.
It's 1105.
That's it's not incredible, right. But at the same time, like for a card value that's potentially between $135 and $200, you're going to get a guy that's going to have an insane run this season. And then if he wins an MVP and he goes into a contract year, and he goes in the offseason and there's this giant, this giant Aaron Judge, where's he going? He's traveling and he's in LA and he's in, Miami and he's in Texas and he's in, then I don't even think he has an off-season lull. I think he goes into an off-season spike, and so sometimes in baseball, I've found that people are so bought into what happens in 3 months. It's different than a lot of other sports cards I've seen, because baseball fans and baseball prospectors are so good at having patience that their guy is going to make it. I see them making longer term plays more often. And so I think when you see a guy like Judge coming up, and you see all that coming up, you could see somebody paying big money in September, October, and waiting for April to come around when he starts with his new team. I don't know. So anyway, all I'd say right now, I think you should buy that Judge card, but I'm not sure that it ends up going to where a normal Bowman Chrome would. Plus, this isn't an auto. I would say that's a really big hit on it. This is just a regular Bowman Chrome PSA 10, which just a regular Bowman Chrome PSA 10. But I would say that Aaron Judge is somebody that is definitely worth looking at. It's not often that you're seeing a guy in an MVP conversation, and I would not consider him an overvalued purchase right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would say Aaron Judge is not an overvalued purchase right now, and he's on an MVP run. Those are two incredible things that you can put together.
Yeah, you articulated what was in my brain when I kind of found this and put it on our agenda for the show. And I never know if you're going to slaughter my suggestion or if you're going to agree with me and kind of elaborate on it. Yeah, actually, you never slaughter my suggestion, but I could tell when you politely disagree with me. And so, yeah, I'm super interested in this card now that you kind of agree with me, because I do think a couple thoughts I'll just add to yours. Yeah, if you were to put us 20 years from today and say all of the Bowman Chromes from the 2010 through the 2025 era, even though they have different designs, we might group them all that way. 20, 30 years from now, we might group all of them that way. And so who's going to be better? Spencer Torkelson or Aaron Judge? I mean, we don't know, but
so while you're on the computer,
pretty sure
look up a Spencer Torkelson PSA 10 Chrome and what the pop count is. Because I'm sure it's probably around 10,000.
This is why I have eBay ready to go. Let's look at the price, and then we'll look at here's first Bowman Chrome PSA 10, which is essentially what we're talking about.
It's the same card.
Recent sale. Let's do recent sales real quick. You guys can kind of see a little bit of the process. It might not be different from your process, but if it is, you'll learn a little something. So, okay. So $86 for a Spencer Torkelson. That's obviously $100 less than the Judge card that we're talking about. So we got to take that into consideration. But if we do a pop count on
obviously
that,
not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this.
Now
I haven't done this, but I think this pop account is going to be insanely higher.
Yeah, I like to use PSA.com/cert because. And then I like to take a certification number and put it in, and it just gives me a better look at the pop count. So this is 6. This is just someone's card, but it's going to bring up the entire pop count: 613-64123. So Judge was 1105, and Torkelson same card, 658. Wow, that just slapped us in the face. How is that possible?
Okay,
how is that possible? We just got B-smacked on that.
Yeah, we just got
live.
Smacked.
Hey, sometimes it happens.
Okay.
But,
Yeah.
Okay, so the point we're trying to make is that this could, in fairness to us, this could have to do with the PSA shutdown and the amount of cards that are coming back from
also,
PSA.
2020's quality control wasn't great, but I'm trying to make it look like I know what I'm doing, even though I just publicly defrauded an idea I had.
It's a good idea because I think the point is that take any prospect from today. Like people like, I say Torkelson because, he's batting under 200 in his first 200 MLB at bats, give or take. And so, and then you've got Judge, who's far more accomplished and plays in a better franchise. Unfortunately, say what you want about the Yankees, they're winning and the Tigers.
Go Tigers.
So if you go Tigers. If you extrapolate that over a career and then say 20, 30 years from now, look back at this similar era of Bowman Chrome PSA 10s and say pop count's pretty similar. Who do we want, Aaron Judge or Spencer Torkelson? My money right now my money's on Aaron Judge. My heart is with Torkelson, but my money is with Judge. That's the punchline. So
that's funny.
But speaking of Judge, I want to talk with you about, and this goes along with what I was talking about, people getting interested in baseball cards in May probably hit that second demographic of baseball card investors. You usually talk about two different demographics, two different markets. It's been your phrase where you say one market is the prospect market. They're in it year round and they're getting Bowman draft right when it comes out, and they're buying singles and they're buying hangers and hobby boxes and everything, and they're prospecting. And then you've got the other market, which is more of like the seasonal, I would say, baseball card investor that's more interested in sort of the Vlad Juniors and Shohei Otanis of the world, right? And so baseball card rankings at nooffseason.com, basically our top 7 are all major leaguers, right? And so they're not prospects. They're well-established major leaguers. So I want to shift the discussion a little bit to well-established major leaguers that you believe are buys right now for this season, right? Like you talked about Lou Bob earlier. I'm wondering if you still feel the same way about him. We've all liked Vlad. I'm wondering if you still feel the same way about him.